Hello everyone, and welcome to your full moon reading. And what a full moon we have ahead of us. So on Friday, March 18th at 3:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a full moon in Virgo. And this full moon is acting like a threshold because this is the last full moon of winter. And it happens to occur 2 days before the spring equinox. So that is a threshold of us leaving the dark half of the year and going into the light half of the year. Now, with the Lunar Club, we talk about the lunar cycles, which are very quick cycles. Every 28 days, we have a new cycle, and every 2 and a bit days, the moon switches signs. So it's a very fast-moving, cyclical energy that really helps us connect with ourselves inwardly, because the moon is deeply connected with our emotions and our inner being, as well as our life journey through the moon's inhale and exhale of energies. There's always this natural flow of give and take, inhale and exhale. And so we study these lunar energies, but the sun energies is, I think of as like a bigger cycle, a yearly cycle. And so fall and winter is that dark half of the year where we shed our leaves and we go inward, and we're very introspective, and we're thinking about the year that we just finished up, and then we start to contemplate the year ahead. And so this full moon is the last full moon of that dark half of the year, that introspective half of the year, the cosmic exhale of the year. And then after this full moon, we step into the cosmic inhale of the year. So it's a very exciting time because a new energy is emerging on the earth plane, and the energies of this full moon are so in line with this new energy that's emerging. And this moon, this lunation, is called the worm moon. By no surprise. The worm moon got its name because of the worms that are forging these new trails in this freshened and fertile soil of spring. And so we are at a moment where we can forge these new paths. And the energies are very fertile and they're fresh. They're ready for us to begin a new path and a new journey. And so there is some amazing cosmic energies that I'd like to share with you from this new moon. And once we get into this lunar reading, you're going to begin to see a theme for this year, especially if you've been in the Lunar Club for more than 1 year. We've been seeing this theme for the past couple of years now. So there is this theme of revolution and new paradigm shifts, which makes sense because when we look at this year, we're in 2022. We add up those numbers and we get the number 6. So we're in a cosmic year 6. And 6 is a threshold number. It's the threshold from the material world into the spirit world. Once we get into the year 7, 8, 9, we're getting into the numbers of magic and spirit. And so this is a threshold that we're leaving the world, the material world, and stepping into a more spiritual world, a world full of endless possibilities and magic and healing and spirituality. And so that can be frightening for some people who are comforted in the familiar, because the familiar is sort of crumbling away. That old world that we've always known is breaking down and a new world is emerging, right? Just like fall and winter breaks down that foliage, and then in spring a new life can be born. And so that's what's happening on the Earth plane in a grand cosmic scale. And this full moon in Virgo is really helping us out because Virgo energy tends to be very meticulous, very detail-oriented, very organized. And so this full moon in Virgo is helping us to put these scattered pieces back together, finding the beauty and order among the chaos, moving outside and beyond the habitual pattern responses that we've created in our life. You know, we've gone through life and we've created this identity, we've created these patterns, we've created these behaviors, we've created these thoughts about ourselves and the world and how to navigate this world, and that has got us this far. And when we look at the world around us, it seems to be going crazy. It seems to be turned upside down. This is happening here, this is happening there, there's all this chaos all around us, and we can get lost in the destruction of the old world, or we can harness this Virgo energy and find that beauty in the chaos. Put those pieces back together and find our inner strength, our inner authority. Find order to all those pieces of us that we may have lost through the way. And so we have more help than just Virgo, right? Mercury is the ruler of this full moon, and we're pretty familiar with Mercury, the planet of communication. So it has this ability to communicate and give us greater communication, not only to ourselves, but with others and with the world around us, the natural world. And the natural world is always speaking to us. And that's why I love doing these lunar readings, because these cosmic energies are sharing with us a new vision, a new paradigm, new energy shifts, and we can pay attention to it and grow with it and be in alignment with these energy shifts. Or we can get lost in the chaos of a world that's falling apart. So Mercury is ruling this full moon, and it is in Pisces. And this is giving us greater intuitive insights. Just like we learned from the new moon reading 2 weeks ago. We had an inundation of this water energy. We had the sun, the moon, Neptune, and Jupiter all conjunct in Pisces, which is tons of water energy. It's breaking open those floodgates and allowing this energy to flow. So for those of us who seek comfort in the familiarity, this could be uncomfortable for us. And for those of us who are sensitive to this energies and pay attention to this energy, we can allow this energy to guide us. And then we can move with this cosmic energies that we have all around us. But if we're trying to control the world around us and trying to hold on to what's familiar, to what's known, and the universe is opening up the floodgates of new energy, this could be really uncomfortable to us until we break open and decide, you know what, there is divine forces that are greater than me, and I can either move along with these, or I can try and hold on to what I thought was, or what the world what's happening in the world. You know, there's crazy events happening all over the news, if that's what you are paying attention to or following. So we have these wonderful energies of Pisces and Mercury, getting the message to us, allowing us to receive this cosmic guidance, this Virgo energy that's helping us to find peace and beauty and order among this seemingly destructive chaos that's happening all around us. Now, there's still this strong Piscean energy and the sun is still in Pisces. We're about to shift into Aries, which is also a threshold. It's the beginning of a new zodiac cycle. So there's lots of thresholds with this full moon. So as we're still in this Pisces energy, pay close into your dreams, because we may be receiving cosmic guidance through our dreams, especially if we don't spend enough time meditating or spending enough time speaking to nature. We may be getting our messages through our dreams. So dreams can be very important through this cosmic shift in our world. So what is happening in our dreams? Maybe perhaps write some notes down, or when you wake up, if there was something that happened in your dream, think about that. Interestingly enough, I just came back from a constellation retreat in North Carolina, and in one of my dreams, I was greeted by this new animal. And later on that day, I picked up an oracle card, and it was all about connecting with a new animal. A new animal is going to come into my life, and listen to what this animal is teaching me. So things like that as an example. You know, something may happen in your dream, and do a little research and think about, what is this dream trying to tell me? And that message will be unique to you and to your being and your thought process. In addition to this new creative energy to create new patterns in our life, new perspectives, new visions, and even a new world in this fertile soils of spring, as we enter into this light half of the year, this energy is also charged with this sort of rebellious and revolutionary influence. And this rebellious energy is not a bad thing or a negative thing. This is a rebellion for freedom. It's a revolutionary energy for freedom. Remember that US Pluto return that we've been talking about, and this new cycle of Pluto, that the last time we had this energy was the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It was a rebellious act against the European monarchs to set up a new nation founded on freedom. And so here we have this again, and so this rebellious energy is here, and it's for human freedom. But not only human freedom, but also personal freedom from self-limitations. You know, oftentimes we, me included, I get so focused on the world around me, which is great because we need to be observant of the world around us, but not get lost in it. And there is also an inner world. And so this energy is also helping us to break free from our own personal self-limitations. And this is beautiful energy, allowing us to step into this new cosmic inhale of spring, this new threshold as we step into a world that's filled with more love, light, compassion, unity, more spirituality, more connection with Mother Earth, and more freedom for humanity to be who we are, and stepping away from the forces of control, you know, that ruling force of a global corporation of wealthy elite. We're stepping away from that ruling control of those who have the power and the money and the influence over the world. People are saying, you know what, I think there's a better way. And so that is giving us freedom on a collective, but also in an internal. And I would say that personal journey of freedom is far more important to focus your energy on than the world outside. Because if each of us just really focus on, what is limiting us? Where are our limitations in our life? Where do we want to have more freedom in our life? We can work on ourselves, and then the world will follow. So we have this beautiful energy that is giving us the freedom And we have that Virgoan energy to help us create, to manifest a beautiful new version of ourselves, forge a new path, like the worms are forging in this fresh, fertile soil of spring. We also have a Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which is breaking free from the rings of limitations and control of Saturn, right? If we think about where these planets are in our cosmology of the universe, Neptune, it has a further span, a further range or cycle outside of Saturn. And Saturn is a planet that has these rings around it. It has this barrier and this control around it. And that energy helps us to see our limitations, our barriers, but then also to learn how to step outside of them and break free from those limitations and that control. And so this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is helping us to break free from those rings of limitation. Neptune has this very rebellious and revolutionary energy that sees the rings of control of Saturn and says, you know what, we're stepping outside of that, and we have a broader, a more expansive view of the world from that place. And so Jupiter also has this expansive energy. It's the largest planet in our solar system. So these two energies together are helping us to step into a more expansive freedom. Stepping away from this world of materialism, being confined to a material world, and stepping into a more spiritual focus. This is like a spiritual upgrade from the divine. And so these energies are really helping us to navigate this new world that is emerging, and also helping us to create this new world that's emerging. It's emerging everywhere. Being a part of this lunar club is being a part of this new world that's emerging. And as this new world begins to grow, others will see that, there is another way. We don't have to get lost in this destruction and despair of this old 3D paradigm. The 3D timeline of events, the fear of COVID, international politics and tensions, social tensions and societal division. We can allow that to influence us. It's here to teach us, but we can also step out of that, observe it, and say, there's a better way. And so we have the free will to engage with these events or to observe this destructive force rather than getting lost into these tidal waves of chaos, because that old world needs to crumble for that new to emerge. We see this in our natural world. That's why we have fall and winter, so that we can have a spring and summer. It's the cosmic forces of this world. And so once we start to pay attention to that, we can be in flow and balance with that. And so that's part of what this Lunar Club is all about. It's to help us find our inner peace, our inner authority, our spiritual foundation, and begin to create a new life and our new world, the new us that is emerging in this new world. And this full moon invites us to reconnect with Mother Earth in a deeper capacity than ever before, forging new trails like the worms in spring, and growing our new self and our new life in this fertile soil that we have been given. This full moon is time to be grateful for all the blessings in our life, because once we start to see and to begin to see all the blessings all around us, we can see that there's so much love and support around us, and then stepping out of old habits and patterns and behaviors and viewpoints and letting go of grudges and guilt and shame is no longer as difficult or as hard or as scary to do, because we see all the blessing and love and support that's all around us. And certainly we have the free will to do as we want. And we can choose the life that we want to live in. The universe is providing us with DNA activating light codes to expand our consciousness, learning from our past self, and accepting that, saying yes and thank you, accepting ourselves for all that we are, and acknowledging where we've come from, and having acceptance and gratitude for those chapters of our life, and our old being, and stepping into a new beginning to write a new story. And this new story is a journey that is being guided not only from the moon, but all of the planets that she interacts with. This expansive Jupiter energy that is giving us the energy and the foresight and the good luck and the good fortune to step into this new beginning that may be scary for some of us. This Neptune energy that sees, the old ways of doing things and says, you know what, there's a new way. And stepping into this new revolutionary energy that is coming to us. This Pisces energy that allows us to connect with our intuition, our creativity, and our dreams. This spiritual connection with the divine. This Virgo energy which helps us to see through the smoke and mirrors. This matrix, this illusion, and to find the beauty and the organization to create inner peace and inner authority. And then we also have Mercury to help us connect deeper with Mother Earth and with the divine, spiritual, and cosmic energies that are swirling all around us. So this full moon is a threshold stepping into a new, and as the moon shines bright and she shows her illumination in all of her fullness and splendor and grandeur and beauty, we say yes and thank you to our life, to all the blessings that are around us. And as she begins to wane and we begin the waning moon process, we release. We let go of that which is no longer serving, which at this point it can be cliche, but it's letting go of the old versions of ourselves, the old patterns, the old thoughts, the old perspectives, that old world that we are so familiar with, because there's a new world emerging. And so I hope you guys have a beautiful full moon ceremony, connecting deeper with Mother Earth and the world that we live in, and stepping into this beautiful spring equinox and forging a new life and a new you. And until the next new moon, take care, guys. Lots of love and peace and happiness, and I will see you at the new moon. Bye.